Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Lost City of Z. So I'm a bad movie reviewer, and I didn't know much about this film going into it, much like the last film I saw at a screening. But again, when I don't really know much about these films, I actually prefer to just avoid trailers, avoid too much of the plot, and go in blind. I knew that it was about some sort of jungle theme starring Charlie Hunnam and Robert Pattinson, Sienna Miller, and Tom Holland. I did know a little bit that it was getting buzz and making its way around the festival circuit, and upon leaving the film, I think it was a good, solid movie. Don't know that it's worthy of all of this praise and buzz it's getting, though. But let's go ahead and start off with what it gets right. First of all, I have never seen Charlie Hunnam act this well before. He was good in Sons of Anarchy. He was in Pacific Rim. He was fine in Crimson Peak. But I've never really seen him act, and I think he did a wonderful job. He added so many layers to his character, made him feel really complex, never made it feel one note or dull. I think he took on the burden of creating this really interesting character that needed to prop up and carry much of the film on his shoulders, and he was up to the task and did a great job. I also think that Robert Pattinson was really, really good. He's nearly unidentifiable in his role, but I think he really did lose himself in the character, and he did a great job. Sienna Miller isn't given all that much to do, but she has a few really powerful scenes that she delivers extremely well. And Tom Holland also is solid. He also isn't given too much to do, but he's given enough to let his acting chops shine. I kind of wish he was in the movie more. I thought he was going to have a larger role. I also think the movie is shot gorgeously. It just looks beautiful. The shots through the rainforest are gorgeous. All of the tracking and establishing shots look great. The cinematography in general is just beautiful, as is the set design and costume design. Everything on screen looks wonderful. And I also think this was a really fascinating and interesting story to tell about this lost city of Z. But to go even deeper about what exploration means. What does it mean to explore and discover these new lands? And there was a nice contrast in how you treated people in your discoveries. And that was just one of the reasons that you kind of gravitate toward this character, is he sees them as people, not there to destroy their land, but there to understand and learn from the indigenous people of these new places that are discovered. But in general, it's a solid movie about discovery and going out and exploring. So all of the aspects involving that discovery and exploration I thought were done well. I also loved the ending. I thought it ended on such a strong, impactful note. So that's always a positive with films, that it just ends on that high note, leaves you just kind of like, oh, okay, wow, all right, we're there. But the entire end sequence is just so fantastic that I think it really kind of upped the movie, in my opinion. And now on to the negatives. So my biggest negative has to just do with storytelling in general. First of all, I don't think it was paced properly. I think we go through weird stretches. It feels uneven throughout the entirety of the film. So they go through long stretches of a little bit of boredom, and then we go through like stretches where we're just jumping, moving. And I think that's because this film covers such a vast amount of time that they skip over whole chunks of time. We don't get to see whole journeys in this movie. We kind of segue from adventure in the middle of the Amazon, and then without any good kind of transition, we're back home. We're greeting the people of England. And then we're at war, and then we're here, and then we're there. So they don't transition from these big events well at all. And for me, that made the movie feel a bit aimless. So I know it's about exploring and adventure, but it doesn't mean that story conventions need to be a big adventure with no aim. And I also think they bring up character points and then never go anywhere with them. There's a point in this movie where Sienna Miller's character takes a stand, but after that moment, it's never brought up again. Her character as an individual is never explored again. So it was disappointing to have this one great stand, and then it's never revisited. There's a really dramatic climatic moment between Charlie Hunnam and his son, and then we just brush right on past it. So there's just so many moments where we get these things, and then we kind of forget about them and move on to the next. So I just wish the story had more fluidity to it. I wish that we had stayed in on a more focused story instead of just following Charlie Hunnam's explorer everywhere he went in the time period. It felt almost directionless in the way that it told the story. I also have to say that the sound design was poor. So all of these actors are putting on an accent or doing their natural accent in some cases, but it was so hard to understand them. Everything felt muffled. I really wish they had made it more of an effort to bring those voices to the forefront so we could understand some of the dialogue that was happening, because at times it was really a strain to hear the characters. So overall, I think The Lost City of Z is a good, solid movie. I don't think it's going to be in contention for awards come the end of the year. I don't think it's going to be making a lot of people's top 10 lists, to be honest. But it's definitely one worth seeing. Again, this is another great story about things that actually happened, and a story that sheds light onto the atrocities of discovery and the atrocities of exploration and what that meant for so many indigenous people and so many of the explorers, what they had to face as well. So I think this is worth a solid matinee, or it will make for an amazing rental. So I think watch it at some point, but it doesn't necessarily need that full price ticket. So that has been my review of The Lost City of Z. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Lost City of Z? And what is your favorite movie about exploring? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!